Just as a dad, I'm a daddy's girl, so he's the person that I look up to. I wanted to be him growing up. I thought he was the coolest. I wanted to show him off to my friends, and I liked him coming to my soccer games because he had useful information to give me after the game, and I felt like his cheers on the sideline weren't so crazy. They sounded like he knew what he was talking about. It's more than a job to him. It's part of who he is. He'll slam his wrists down when his team's losing, but he'll celebrate like everyone else when they're winning. And he takes it very personal when things go wrong. He takes responsibility when things go wrong, and when things are great, he's just happy. I guess one word to describe his professional self is passionate.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jerry Dobson, and I'd like to welcome you all to this morning's news conference. This is, in my mind, and I think those of us who follow the sport closely, it's the biggest day in the history of this sport in this city and in this country.
Ladies and gentlemen, Toronto FC.
When I first came to Toronto, I never expected to see a soccer atmosphere like the one that I experienced every week in Europe when I was covering the games in England. And the first game at BMO Field, when the teams came out, when they had the anthems for that home opener against Kansas City, the first ever game there, it was just incredible because I felt like this was almost like home.
Coming into Toronto as an opposing team, it's an intimidating place to play. I think it really feels like a hostile environment when you come in. I think it was probably one of the first franchises in the league where it really was a fortress for Toronto FC, and I felt like the fan base was very European in the way they support the team and how they sing and they chant, and they're on their feet and they're into the game for 90 minutes, and so that definitely rubs off, and it's not a fun place for teams to come in and play.
When you live in the United States and you think about international cities, Toronto is always pointed out as one of the most international cities throughout the world. We've been looking at expansion here in Toronto even when the league was founded, and we've so excited to be here and kicking off in 2007.
So I got the keys to my place, 2 days ago. As soon as we got back from Vancouver, I got the keys and I got moved in, and so I've been spending pretty much all the time, all my waking moments, unpacking the 17 bags that I brought with me. I was really excited to actually get here to Toronto and see the city. I've only had a chance to visit, looking for a place. Has been really cool. It's been a great process. Just the process of looking for a place, while it's stressful, has also been cool because it showed me a lot of areas of the city. It's helped me familiarize myself with the city and with the different pockets and things like that. And so it's been cool, and I've only heard good things to say. It's a little bit unnerving, actually, that everyone that I've talked to about the city of Toronto has nothing but good things to say. So I was like, wait a second, when's the ball going to drop on that? But getting here and feeling the city, seeing the energy, and so getting a chance now to, before my family gets here, get a little city living in,
get it out at center, and here's a 2-on-1. Van Riemsdyk with Ketzel. Van Riemsdyk to Ketzel.
My relationship with JVR came about, or James, came about when he came to PPL Park for a kind of a tour. So, you know, we just kind of, we're shooting it, you know, just kicking it, and got to just, you know, got to know each other.
There they are.
What's up, man? How's it going? Congratulations. See you too, all right. Gave him a call. I've invited him to come to some games. He invited me to come to some games. My son, all of a sudden, big Flyers fan, so he was really excited to have James there. So it was just really cool, and so we just kind of continued the relationship on. When he got traded to Toronto, I was still in Philly, and so you know, I was bummed to see him go. But you know, just kind of the way it worked out here, I come, you know, moving up to Toronto myself, just, you know, 4 months later.
Yeah. All right, look at this. This is great.
That'll probably be
perfect.
This
is perfect.
It's a schmedium.
Extra medium, I like that.
Yeah.
It's always great to have friends that are playing other sports in the city that you're from. I was able to make a couple different buddies from the different sports teams in Philadelphia, and Danny Califf is one of them, and we've kept in touch over the last few years here, and become to be pretty good buddies. And once I found out he was coming to Toronto, I was pretty excited, so I hit him up right away, and I've seen him a couple times around, so I'm excited to see him play here.
You know, it just ended up being a really cool thing, and I'm really excited to be here and you know, have a friend and have, you know, have something to do, and you know, be able to hopefully build that relationship between, you know, our players and some of the players from the Leafs.
I remember the very first time we're walking out for a home game and national anthem. I got goosebumps big time. You feel it right away that people are behind you, you know. So that was the first thing that just was extraordinary to me.
I think that's something that from day one has been very evident with the fans that have followed this team. They are deeply invested in how well Toronto FC does and in building the soccer culture within the city. We've seen that even through the tough times in the last 6 seasons, heading into season 7, that there is a hardcore group of people who will stick by this team, and when the good times come, they're going to be rewarded.
This time of year, gut feeling's always good. We're starting out, you know, we've always got a chance. You know, you want to be there in the end. You want to get to the playoffs.
Two teams with very different form books coming into this one. A sporting Kansas City, unbeaten in their last 13 regular season matches dating back to last July. Well, it's also last July when Toronto FC last won an MLS game. Toronto last year with just 3 wins from 17 home matches against Philadelphia, the Whitecaps and Colorado. That's the fewest matches they've ever won at home in a season.
Some teams I've been on have been so mentally strong that even in a win you can get told that it wasn't good enough, and there's certain standards you've got to adhere, and even when you're winning it, there's not. When you're losing a lot, you've got to be a bit careful about it. You know, guys are down, and losing can be a hard habit to get out of. You know, failure generally makes you take a backward step rather than a forward step.
The 15 games played between these two teams, Kansas City have won 8 of them. Unbeaten in their last 7 matches against Toronto FC. That's their longest streak against any MLS side.
It's not just really kind of one variable that distinguishes what you take out of the game. You've got to look at the whole environment, the whole history, the individual players, the team as a whole, and put them in a mindset that gives you the best opportunity to win a game again the next week.
I think with probably, you know, not just playing soccer, but in life itself, you always have to adapt. You always have to make changes. You always have to adapt to what situation you're in. You know, I think to do that, you have to adapt to everything. You know, different situations, different personalities, whether it's good things and bad things. You really have to be strong mentally to get through it, because otherwise you never get to the end. You know, you never get to where you want. And I think maybe it comes down to your probably inner strength and the type of person you are.
Hey guys, give me a couple of minutes before I get ready. Okay boys, listen up, listen up. You know your jobs, you know your jobs. When we step hard, and it's reinforced. Second, third and fourth pressure. If they break, we get in behind. Recovery runs are sprints until we get control again. You have 30,000 fans out there ready for you. Do you want it? Do you want to win for them? I want winners on this team. Talent comes second to me, and for 90 odd minutes, I want winners out there. And I'll see it, and you'll know it. So when you look in the mirror tonight, only you will know that you put everything in this game. Whether you started it or you came off the bench. 30,000, our home ground, you make sure they know it. Sport in Kansas City, they don't set the tempo, we do. We do. You give them hell. When it's time to slow it down, we slow it down. Okay?
The relationship between the fans and a player, and it's hard. It's totally different to any other job that you do.
Well, Robert Earnshaw has made a living out of scoring goals. A couple of times played for Cardiff City, also West Bromwich Albion, Norwich City. Spent some time with Derby County as well. Most recently, though, Maccabi Tel Aviv. He's hoping to make his stay in Toronto a long one.
A lot of people will watch, but a lot of people will bond with you without ever maybe meeting them, you know?
Earnshaw is quick and he's sharp, and he will win a foot race with either of those two central defenders. He smells danger. He knows when there's going to be a turnover. He knows when there's going to be a chance in the box that he can kind of capitalize on.
Given away there by Kansas City. Here's Robert Earnshaw! Makes no mistake, and in the 3rd minute it's his first goal for Toronto FC.
The team gets together and they're jumping up and down. It's a great thing, and you also got 20,000 behind you doing the same thing, and everybody feels that one moment, you know. Everybody's feeling the same thing, thinking the same thing, and happy. That's an incredible feeling, and it's very rare that you can do that anywhere else, you know, apart from sport and soccer.
You might have seen on Sports Centre last night Earnshaw talking about his time in Israel, where he spent time dodging missiles and rocket attacks.
You know, I can be lucky to be in a situation where I know there's going to be a big crowd there every time I go out to do my job. It's, you know, I started off, I was born in Zambia. I moved to Malawi, which is the next country over, when I think I was about about 5, and then moved back to Zambia for a little while because my dad passed away when I was 9. And then after that, my mum wanted us to move to the UK. She had family there. My dad was English. It made sense for education, everything. Plus she had her sister there. You know, so even from a young age, I was always did a lot of traveling, did a lot of moving around. And you know, ever since I was a youngster, you know, maybe from the age of 12, probably 12, 13 is when I realized, you know, I love playing football. I was at soccer, and this is what I want to do. And then since then, I've really, it's always been, that's the focus, that's the end point. That's what I have to do. And with all the different moving rounds and different things that go on in my life, I have to play football. I have to be, you know, live up to a certain standard, and I have to get there because that's what I love, you know.
Ryan Nelsen, a former player in the league, was with DC United, won an MLS Cup there before moving to England and coming back. Now this is second match as a head coach.
Kind of worked out perfectly in that first half an hour. We kind of knew it, we kind of predicted it, and it happened. And when that happens, it's probably it is the first feeling I've ever had when you teach something and it comes to fruition, and then it's exercised so well by the players. It was such a great feeling.
Robert Earnshaw from the spot has a chance to make it 2.
Earnshaw already has 1 today. Can he get a second for Toronto FC? Earnshaw calmly slots it home. And in the 21st minute of play, the Welsh international gets his and Toronto FC's second goal of the game.
You know, it almost blew every sort of hardship or everything maybe stressful one day or whatever, you know, all these little things, you know, it was like, you know, it's like, it's hard to put into words, so it's just like sometimes it's like I'm flicking a switch, and at the Rogers Centre, the game, you know, it was like, right, flick the switch, it's on now, here we go. And you know, I think for me to score the first goal so early, it just gave me a big confidence, and I was happy because it gave the team confidence, because the week before against Vancouver it was a difficult, tough game. We didn't get too many chances, and then to get a goal straight away, I knew it was going to be big for us if we were going to try and win the game. And then to get the second, then I thought, well, okay, great, you know, this is nice.
Toronto FC fans will go home happy. Ryan Nelsen's first win as an MLS head coach. They beat Sporting Kansas City by 2-1 at Rogers Centre.
we're still a long way away from where we want to be. I'm so pleased with the win. I'm so pleased that for any sort of records, I don't even care about those. But more importantly, it's a step forward. I think there's improvement in Vancouver. I think there's improvement today, and we've got to take baby steps in a way to become a very good team. And yes, this will help in a lot of ways, but we've still got a lot of work to do. We need to improve the team. We need to improve everything.
You've got to be realistic as well. It's just one win. It's one of hopefully many. But win or lose, you have to kind of step back and go, where are we as a team? And we're as a team, we've got a long, long way to go. That's the reality of it. You know, if we want to look at potentially being a very strong team in this league, then we've got, you know, a long way to go. There's a great distance. Individuals and teams have to be self-aware. You know, you have to know what your strengths and weaknesses are, and one of our weaknesses at the moment is that we've only won 11 games in 2 years. We only won 5 games, and 1 in July, and that's tough to get over. You know, that's tough for anybody to get over. You know, the same players with 10, 15 wins under the belt potentially would have had the confidence to get on the ball and play through the pressure. But that's life. You know, that's how you've got to manage teams, and you've got to, you know, kind of all of a sudden go from here to there just like that. It takes time.
I think everyone deep down knew that we're going to pull this one out. You know, whether we have to, you know, roll on the ground in front of every shot or whatever it takes, we're going to do it. And I think that once everyone has that feeling within the group, I think that's what you're talking about with culture change. You know, the belief that we can do it.
These are the positions where we get in. Kansas City never did this to us in one game, where we have a tap and goal. That's what I like better. 3-4 passes up the field, and we're virtually in that position.
The club, the logo, the understanding that we have with our supporters and the community, that's what everybody has to serve. Every single person from, you know, the receptionist, the chefs out at the training ground, the kit man, the people that are selling tickets, everybody has to be on the same page. Everybody has to recognize that their worth is measured by what they do for the greater good, what they do for the group, for the organization, for the idea of TFC.